Kol Haloyim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. And that's the spirit. We're starting this video at 444 because we all need mercy. We need mercy as we're in this grace period right now, which is a time in which we have the opportunity to repent, to call out onto the Lord, to ask him for salvation, to be obedient, to show him that we're willing and that we want to just do his work, to do his will. And I'm bringing this out I'm making this video because I seen on Google that one of the trending topics was this atomic scientist Doomsday Clock. And basically you had these scientists and they created this Doomsday Clock that represented how close humanity is getting to being extinct, like just destruction, nuclear destruction, I guess you can say. And it's trending right now. And basically this coincides with the coming destruction that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is bringing to Babylon the Great, which is America and other various parts of the world. Of course, the entire world and humanity itself is not going to be completely destroyed as they're portraying here with this Doomsday Clock. But for us that are in the know, it gives us another, I don't want to use the word verification, but it's another source that we can use in order to bring out the prophecies in the scriptures, right? We know that the Bible prophesies of America's destruction by nuclear missiles. And now, what a coincidence it is that you have these scientists that created the Doomsday Clock talking about referring to how close humanity gets to its destruction, right? So they're synonymous in the fact that they have that destruction component. So I wanted to bring this out, and I hope that made sense. But as you can see, all these articles, all relevant. 4 hours ago, 1 day, 42 minutes, 8 hours, ABC News, Vox, New York Times, they're all talking about it. But I clicked on the first one, and the title says, "The Doomsday Clock has never been closer to metaphorical midnight. What does it mean?" Humanity is closer than ever to catastrophe, according to the atomic scientists behind the Doomsday Clock. The ominous, metaphor ticked 1 second closer to midnight this week. The clock now just stands just 89 seconds away, its first move in 2 years, and the closest the clock come to midnight in its early 8-decade history. The 2025 clock time signals that the world is on a course of unprecedented risk, and that continuing on the current path is a form of madness, announced the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, the nonprofit organization that sets the clock each year. So let's get a precept off of that verse right there. The 2025 clock time signals that the world is on a course of unprecedented risk, and that continuing on the current path is a form of madness. Unprecedented risk, and the world is basically on a course of madness. I was going to start there in Ecclesiastes, but we'll come back, Lord's will, off of that paragraph. Let's first grab Matthew 24, verse 21. Remember, this is the chapter where in the beginning the disciples came to the Lord, Yahushai, and asked him, what are going to be the signs of your return? Like, how can we be on the lookout, right? So it talked about, or Yahushai mentioned, wars, rumors of wars, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places, famines, all of the above. Then, when you jump down here to verse 21, describing leading up to that time, it says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be." Let's read that in the NLT. It says, "For there will be greater anguish than at any time since the world began, and it will never be so great again." So that right there is what they described in this article as the world is on a course of unprecedented risk. Let's look up that word, unprecedented. Never done or known before. Never done or known before. So that's exactly what we read in Matthew 24, verse 21. It's an unprecedented time that we're coming towards, that we're leading up to right now. And the Bible calls that time Jacob's trouble. And now you have these camps out here that aren't talking about this. Not only that, some of them get on us for speaking about this. Meanwhile, you have a whole nonprofit organization basically saying and warning of the same exact thing. These are so-called geniuses of this world. These atomic scientists, they all came together and created this clock. And basically, midnight represents the destruction of humanity. Yeah, so everybody's talking about this. Let's keep going in this article really quickly, maybe 2 or 3 more paragraphs. It says the group meets annually to assess how close humanity is to self-destruction based on 3 main factors: climate change, nuclear proliferation, and disruptive technologies such as artificial intelligence. But of course, the biggest thing we want to focus on here is it says nuclear proliferation, the development of nuclear missiles. And yeah, the Bible prophesies about those nuclear missiles. We're not going to touch on it in this video, but read Joel, the 2nd chapter. Different chapters in Isaiah as well. The book of Revelation, all touching on nuclear missiles. And that's how America, also known as Babylon the Great, is going to get destroyed by nuclear missiles. Also by the fire that's going to come out of those chariots that the Lord Yahweh Shai and the rest of the holy host, the angels, are going to return in. So once again, these guys saying the same exact thing that the Bible prophesies. This year, it says, it cited continuing trends in multiple global existential threats, including nuclear weapons, climate change, AI, infectious diseases, and conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East. Well, I quoted it, and we're in Matthew 24, so we might as well read it now. It's exactly what they just said. And we'll go back to the King James. And this is how you measure the time. You measure the time by just reading the scriptures, understanding prophecy, and then you look out into the world and you find where the Lord directs you to different articles and videos that basically explain what the scriptures warn of or talk about. So this is Matthew 24, verse 3. I'm just going to jump right to the point because I already quoted it. Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences, which are your diseases, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So let's go back now and let's read what they said. It said this year, it cited continuing trends in multiple global existential threats, including nuclear weapons, climate change, AI, infectious diseases, and conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East. That matches to a T. It also pointed to the spread of misinformation and conspiracy theories as a potential threat multiplier that undermines public discourse in general and about these very issues. While these threats are not new, the scientists said that despite unmistakable signs of danger, national leaders and their societies have failed to do what is needed to change course. So they're blaming, the clock ticking a second forward on the national leaders and the people that run these different societies, and saying that they failed to do what's necessary to change course, meaning to make to do what's necessary to make the clock tick backwards. There we go. And it's not going to. Why? Because of prophecy once again. I'm not hitting none of the scriptures that I initially queued up. This is Jeremiah 51, maybe 50. 51, Jeremiah 51, verses 8 and 9. Babylon, referring to America, is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And balm is a healing ointment. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the sky. So America is not going to be healed. It doesn't matter what kind of stimulus package, what kind of policies they try to put in place, how they try to lower the debt ceiling. Nothing's going to make that clock tick backwards, right? Metaphorically. Even if it does, it doesn't mean anything in terms of prophecy, because we know that prophecy says this place is not going to be healed. The clock is going to keep ticking forward. It's going to keep ticking up until midnight. And midnight, in terms of what these scientists are bringing out, basically represents that seventh and final trumpet. And the seventh trumpet in the book of Revelation represents the destruction of America, of Babylon the Great. Those two things are synonymous. But once again, it's not the destruction of humanity, global civilization, as they're saying. No, it's just the destruction of Babylon the Great, and also the current Holy Land right now. That's going to be completely destroyed too. But that place will be inhabited again by the true Israelites. America will not be inhabited again by any human beings. This place is going to be a desert land. That's it on that article. I'm just going to bring out one last precept to make the point. Because obviously we bring these things out so that the elect can hear it, be warned, be edified, and do something about it. Your job is not just to hear these things and then just go back to your regular life. No, your job is to take action and change your ways, repent. Like I said, do something, build up your spirit, knowing that strengthening our resolve in the Lord and being firm in the faith is the only way to receive salvation. So this is Ecclesiastes 12, verse 1. It says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Meaning, remember the Lord right now in your strength. While you have the ability, if you're a man, to offer your body as a sacrifice, get out there and do it. Your brain is still strong. You have a decent memory, right? Sharp mind, still okay. Dive into the word. Repent. It says, while the evil days come not, meaning before the evil time, before Jacob's trouble, before the microchip is mandated, before nuclear missiles come and strike this place. It says, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after their rain. And that's talking about wisdom being taken away, and the understanding being taken away from these people. But it also is physically, because when those nuclear missiles come raining over Babylon, then the entire sky is going to be dark, especially when those chariots come. Verse 3 says, in the day when the keepers of the house tremble, and the strong men bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. So in the day when society collapses, the dollar is no more, there's no more workers. Yeah, remember the Lord and think about doing his will right now before these things come to pass. And that's the point. The point is that we're getting closer. We see it. We're measuring the times diligently, right? And we bring out articles like this just to show you that prophecy is speaking right now. So right now is the time to repent. And we've been in that time, but we still have the opportunity to do so. So repent and build up your faith and your trust in the Lord, because that's all we're going to need in the time of Jacob's trouble to be safe and also to receive salvation. All we need is our faith and our trust in the Lord, and we're going to be all right. So call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect, Lord's will. It was edifying to the elect. Shalom.